Alright, we got HPA. We're going to test it. This heads up, there's a lot of people that might be around, so you might hear some background noise. If I have to stop, we'll stop. And we have stuff to talk about. We have the hammer to talk about, and just the whole project as a whole. Okay, first let's show that it actually works. I think we're going to be, this will be the last public video, and then he'll get a private video where I'll shoot it and I'll literally put it in a box and say, hey, we got it packed, we're good to go. Boom. Okay, so let's shoot it. Okay, good. I think we've shot enough. Damn, did I hit the wall? Yeah, look, that. Oh, that number, that screwed me over. Okay, okay, we're gonna take out 17 and 18. Wait, what the hell are? Where's shots 17 and what the hell? Okay, let's just start from here. 43, 46 at the highest, 44. So okay, so far the lowest is 39. I'll take 39, the lowest. The highest is 49. So we got a 10 spread. Okay, I'm gonna reset it, guys. I'm gonna try not to hit the thing so we can make sure I'm not crazy. But I didn't hear anything out of the norm. Is it recording? Okay, come on. Okay, 10 shots. Okay. This is what we're looking for. You guys, obviously, you can tell I hit the freaking thing with the other shots. But we are good. This is what you're looking for. You guys are looking for a good spread between the max and min. Okay, we shot 50 shots right now. We're doing okay. Let's talk about what went on. Okay. Oh wait, let's shoot this too. Okay. And this is where you're like, this is why I tell you guys, if you're a tech, you need HPA. You need HPA, because sometimes the mags will not give you a good test. Oops, there was one in the chamber already. Okay, that's right. Good, look at that. Look at this spread. You guys see this? I don't know if you guys can see the spread. It's at 6 right now, and then it's going to start going down really fast. It's getting to 8 to 10. We're already at shot 14. It's at 12, and it keeps on getting bigger and bigger. But now we know this works though. It's at 24, 26. Okay. So we know I got this working. Okay. Now you're gonna notice it, guys. If you can see, let me first show you why I said, okay, hey buddy, you know, you gotta replace the hammer at least. Technically the hammer still works, but this is the one thing I was like, hey, you know, everything else I'll talk about afterwards. But look at it. So from the side it looks okay, right? Look at that. I highlighted it, guys, where it cracked. Look at that. You guys see that? Let me turn on this light. Look at that. That was only, so remember I did that video? I did that video, and before I was testing it and shooting it, guys, this was no more than 100 shots, and it already cracked this whole, and just took that whole thing off. Okay, and I found it in there, surprisingly. So the problem is, this is an old weak-casted hammer, and the reality is, this sucker, he's next. Okay, that's not something I would recommend. Okay, if you ever take it apart and you see this, now technically speaking, I did have second guesses. Okay, I did think in my head, you know what, I could tell him, technically speaking, you could run this into the ground until it breaks, because this is not going to beat your steel sear. Okay, but the problem is, I don't want that part, that metal part, floating in your hammer assembly. I don't want it in there floating. So I think the responsible thing is to, you know, always be honest and talk to people about, hey, this is something you should probably realistically replace. You don't want that part floating in there and then hitting something and chipping out of the part. Then you got a part that now causes multiple damage in your assembly. Okay, what if that had gotten somehow? You'd be surprised where this shit can travel. Okay, it would be insane. Trust me, I've seen some hammer parts, assembly parts, in the loading nozzle. Okay, you have to remember, it's open. Look at it. It can technically travel out and up if it needed to. I've seen everything, guys. Remember, I've been repairing guns for close to 10 plus years. Okay, so let's talk about it, guys. The reality is, this project, guys, our goal was to repair this for as cheap as possible. Okay, we didn't want to spend a lot of money. We want to keep it low, and it's got so many different parts. Okay, but I treat everyone the same. Okay, and this is how I wish I was treated back then. I'm going to hit you with my recommendations, but I'm going to counter my recommendations. So I'm a little weird, yes. Okay, I'm a horrible businessman. All right, that's the truth. Because I think most people would be like, oh yeah, you should replace this and that. You need to do it. And like, you could convince someone. If you're, you know, a manipulator and a gaslighter and just, you know, I don't want to call them scummy, but if you're scummy, you could do it. Okay, and that's something I will never be a part of, and I don't want to do. I wasn't raised that way. So I offered him, and I showed him the stuff I had. Okay, it's a shitty selection, guys. I've been gone for 4 to 5 years. I don't have many things. This one, I think I bought extra. One customer wanted it, and I just bought an extra one. I was like, hey, you know, this is a steel slide stop. It's 5K new generation. This is the safety, and this is another slide stop. But these are expensive. Okay. And then I showed him I only had 2 shitty hammers. Okay, they're both steel, but they're 5KU, the old generation, and then we have this is Kung Fu War / CCI. Okay, they're both shitty, but at the same time they're much stronger than this casted one. Okay, they're stronger than the casted one. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for an easy replacement. Now, the reality is, and this is where I say I'll offer you my recommendations, but then I'll counter it. He's got so many freaking extra parts, guys. He's got an extra set of safeties. He's got an extra set of rear sight. He's got the base. The base is where it always cracks. Right here is literally where it cracks, and he's got an extra one of that. He's got an extra guide rod. So the reality is, guys, he could just run this shit into the ground. It could take him 3 months, 6 months, a month. Who knows? We don't know, but he doesn't need to spend any extra money than he needs to. Okay, so that's the reality. I also told him, hey, you don't need to buy from me. Go buy these parts online if you want to. Order up with your friends from overseas. That's what I do, guys. I'm not any different. I'm buying from WGC shop, and I pay, you know, okay, I pay a lot for the shipping. I pay for the expensive stuff, but it's, you know, it's cheaper over there sometimes. So stack up an order, get what you want. He could rebuild this the way he wants. Now, the reason we decided to go with the hammer is because, yes, guys, this is what I'm going to talk to you about. Now, this hammer, trust me, guys, I've had high quality hammers that cost, you have to remember, AM hammers, they're like freaking $60, 50, $60 just for that. These were only 20 each, okay, really dirt cheap. So I don't mind modifying these, and you unfortunately, for most part, you need to modify them. They're not a drop-in all the time. AM hammers, guess what? Not a drop-in all the time. You will need to do some work, unfortunately. And that's where skill set comes in, and you need to understand how it works. I will never do a video on the hammer. I don't think I've ever done it. I will try my best to explain to you guys how to wrap your head around it and think about it. But if you want a hammer video, go check somebody else. I had people in the past that were just rude and called me out for ruining their shit, and I'm just never going to be a part of that again. Okay, I left forums for that reason, and I left doing jobs that were dangerous. Not dangerous. Okay, it is dangerous, but if it was real steel, it'd be like really dangerous. But still dangerous here. Okay, there are very few people that modify their hammers, guys, are going to be realistically IPSC guys. Okay, they do a lot of crazy modifications. I've done myself. I love doing hammer modifications, but they take a skill set of understanding this. Now, let me walk over some tips and tricks for you guys that I think are fair enough that can help you. Now, the biggest thing that I see a lot of people do when they install new hammers, and they're like, it works. Okay, this is the biggest thing I see all the time, is they will rack the gun from here, and not intentional, because I think most of us, but when you rack, you tend to put downward pressure. Okay, you tend to, it's just natural. Okay, you have to remember, you have this has up down play. It's an old slide. It's a trade. Okay, so don't keep that in mind. Now, if you're just lucky and you have one of those slide to frame fit that are perfect, and you don't have any up down, then you don't have this issue. But for most people, we have this issue. The airsoft world is not as precise as real steel. It never will be. That'd be a dream for me one day to do, but that's in the future when I get my shit together. I would love to make something that's precision, okay, but that's money. I don't think there's a market for it, to be honest. But anyways, they'll rack it and they're like, hey, I don't have the problem. My hammer's fine. I wish I could reproduce it, but what you can do to really double check that your hammer doesn't have an issue with being locked. Remember, you have two hooks. Okay, guys, you have we're gonna call this one hook 1. Remember, hook 1, I'm pointing, and then hook 2. Okay, hook 1 and hook 2. So people will say, hey, my gun doesn't have a problem. It's fully seated. Do this. I promise you, just do this. Try to put no pressure on the slide, this from the side, and rack it. If you can rack it successfully like 10 times, 20 times, you're good to go. But if you do this and you get this, then you have what you're doing here is wrong. The problem is you're artificially putting that 1, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter. It needs just to latch into that second. I already forgot what I said. I'm so stupid. What did I say? First hook, second hook. I forgot, guys. Anyways, when that 2-3 millimeters you need to hook into this first one. Okay, we'll hook 1. We'll start over, so I'm not stupid. Hook 1, hook 2. Hook 1. God, my brain. I think I have too much going on. But anyways, all right. Hook 1 needs that 2-3 millimeters of space. Now let me try to explain to you guys what is going on here. You see this bump right here? This bump is it's very important, integral to pushing down this hammer. Okay, so the hammer's right here, right? And it goes boom, boom, boom. You got all right. You got your first hook, right? Okay, well, we call this hook 2. All right, hook 2. We got first hook, and then now boom, 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 click, click. You'll hear the 2 clicks, right? You hear the. Here's a better example. God, I'm so stupid. All right, so you go boom, boom, boom. You hear that click? All right, that's half. Right, that's half. Right, and then boom, boom, boom. That bump pushes it down enough. Now, if you have a blowback unit that is just completely worn out, right? Maybe it's not there. Okay, well then you're gonna have an issue. Okay, we can see here, hey, man, it's used, but at the same time, we got enough. We're doing okay. All right, it's enough to do it. I also know what I'm doing with the hammers, but I'm going to advise him down the road. He should go buy an official AM hammer, and I'm going to hope and pray to the AM hammer gods that it drops in. okay? But what I had to do is I had to make sure this Kung Fu hammer works for this scenario. So I had to change the angle points because it wasn't a drop in. So what happens is, unfortunately, you're gonna see is it was doing the half hammer problem. And I see so many people just say, hey, it's so common. I took it to this tech and I spent $200 and he put in new hammer and everything and new upgrades, and well, it's probably more now, more at $500 easy. He put in new hammer and everything, and I'm getting this problem where it's like half cocked, you know. And I know it's the hammer sear issue. I 100% know it's the hammer sear issue, because that's the one part that usually separates shitty techs from good techs. Okay, it's the number one thing. Most people don't understand how to do hammer to sear work, or they don't understand how this bump is connected to it, or how if you have a lot of up down play, that's an issue. Increase inconsistencies, how maybe, you know, there's so many things you can think about that can cause problems, and that's what separates them. But they'll come to me and say, hey, I'm getting a lot of half hammer problems, and I'm like, okay, what's your hammer, what's your sear? And then, you know, we go from there and we figure it out. I say, can you put your stock hammer back in there and your stock sear? And if they can, they're able to do this, say, hey, it works. I'm like, okay, you know what the problem is. Hammers need work almost 75% of the time, even if you buy the freaking expensive one, guys. So just keep that in mind. So that's why at the end of the day, look, this is 5KU, but if you know what you're doing, you can get this to work. I just don't like it because I have to do extra work. Okay, but I guess at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's money, but I'm not going to charge them for that. Okay, I'm charging $20 for it, and I'm not charging for the work I had to do for this, just because, you know, we got to do the video, and I think it was fun to do it. So that's my way of saying, hey, thanks, buddy. This was fun to do it, because it takes quite a bit amount of work. It takes quite a bit of Jesus, man. Oh, my English, I'm dying, guys. My brain is turning to mush. It takes work to do this. And look, no flaming me, guys, for not doing the video on that. I refuse to be part of that, and I don't want people you say, hey, you ruined my gun and shit. I hate that stuff. It's annoying. I think I've done a lot of good in this world for Airsoft, and to still get stupid messages annoys me. I have to be honest. So we have the gun working. Try to understand the relation of the hammer versus your sear. Take this for an example. Look at the 5KU one, and look at the ZCI or Kung Fu sear. Very different, right? This one is more like a 1911, and it didn't fit in there really well. Okay, they provided the what do you call these? I don't know what you call these. And that's something, guys, I'm bad with the wording. But they provided all this stuff, and it's just, you know, it's not even this one. Ugh, God, you'd have to do some work on here. So I tried using the best configuration possible to get this to work. And remember, goal was to be cheap as possible and be effective as possible. And I'm going to tell him, and he's going to see this video. Hey, make sure don't lose your keep your extra safeties, keep your extra guide rod. Keep your extra rear sight. The other stuff, yes, sell it, get rid of it. Get a slide stop. I'd definitely get a slide stop still. He doesn't need to buy, he can just go get another one. Okay, like you can see how thin this is, guys. That's the issue. This is a really thin slide stop. It's not the right one. But we got it working, okay? That's the main goal. We have it working, and that's just a little bit about, okay? So what you have to do for here, guys, is you basically have to modify this hook right here. Now, some people can modify the sear, some people can do the hammer. It's up to you guys what you want to do. I'm not going to tell you which one's better. Go join a forum with IPSC guys. Those are probably the best people you can learn from, because IPSC guys will do modifications to hammer sears, all this stuff to deal with timing, to increase speed, to do smoothness. There's a lot of stuff I do, and I do hammer tuning packages, but those cost, it's expensive because it takes me a long time to do. My job was just to get this to work with his setup. okay, using the making sure it's efficient and it does the job, and you can see we did that. Okay. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the series. Shout out to the customer for letting me do a video on it. It's been really fun. And guys, he was gracious, really gracious enough that he even said that he would donate the stuff for me to the channel and everything. But I told him, hey, it's better to go just try to sell the stuff, because he's got a lot of good stuff. Okay, I think he should just try to sell the stuff, and then he is trying. That's one thing I forgot. I told him and then the other people, because he was the first to ask. He's trying to put dibs on the EX build. Okay, all three of you guys. I'm not confident in that. I want to build it first. I want to test it and see if I'm confident about it. I don't want to sell something if it's not good or something. Okay, so you guys are going to have to wait patiently for me to test it, to build it. As for the parts, I'm going to try to keep it budget as possible. I'm not going to throw all expensive stuff at it. There might be some areas where I will spend money on it. Okay, but moving back to him. Hey, you should just sell the stuff. Just sell it as the boneyard stuff. He's got an extra 1911 mag that's kind of nice, actually. You know, he's got an extra hop-up unit. I know he could do. He could keep the cow one, keep the loading nozzle, the steel trigger ring. That's excellent. That's a good thing to have. And then he's got that trigger, but the grip. But I appreciate it, man. But yeah, just sell the stuff, man. Price it low, get it out. That's, you know, the funny thing is I literally told him, hey buddy, I'm trying to get rid of stuff. Okay, I have a box of Glock boneyard parts that I don't think I listed on here, but I listed on Instagram. I had several people talk to me about it, and I forgot to. That's my fault, actually. I'm pretty shitty about it. Okay, anyways. That's it. I think we're done with Airsoft Crapsterpiece video. I'm going to send him one more video of showing it. Hey, we got it working. Then I'm going to pack it. I'm going to make sure he sees this video first to make sure he doesn't want anything extra. Okay, and that's it. Alright, I'll see you guys around.